Hey everybody, it's the Review Revolution, back at you again, taking a look at the next, you see, I'm all set up for my next review, look at me. Actually, we're moving on to part 3 of the 500 subscribers Q&A, and the next one who asked a question was Palpatine 1975, and he's like, hey buddy, will you be doing Transformer reviews? Movie stuff would be cool. Well, I definitely have done some Transformers reviews. I will be doing more, I can promise you that. Chances are it won't be from the movie, though. At least not the two that have been out so far. I wasn't real big on the Transformers, the characters. That's why I didn't do more of them, is that I'm not a big fan of the movie Transformers. Now, animated, I'll probably do more of those. And of course, with the video game Bumblebee and Optimus Prime and so forth, probably see some of those. But no, I'm sorry to say I probably won't be doing much on the movies. But I will be doing more Transformers, that I promise you. Bumble Prime 1000. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to start boning these names. Would you ever consider collecting G.I. Joes if you don't already? Well, I do, or at least I was. I collected the 25th anniversary. I'm a sucker for vintage stuff, so when they redid the G.I. Joes for the 25th anniversary, I was picking those up left and right. The Rise of Cobra figures, the movie figures, I didn't care for. It wasn't that I didn't care for the characters. I just don't think the character designs of them were very good. I think Destro was terrible. I really didn't like the idea that they tried to kind of give sort of the look of the actors, because the Baroness didn't turn out very well. Scarlet looked terrible. So, I probably won't be doing many from the Rise of Cobra series. Now, I may do more from the new G.I. Joe line, but because I've seen Cobra Commander, and I think he actually looks a lot better. But as far as the Rise of Cobra, no, probably not much there. But like Transformers, with some of the newer stuff that's coming out, there's a better possibility. We'll have to wait and see. Salem Blood asks, how do family members and friends feel about you collecting? Well, my friends are okay with it. I mean, we all have our own geeky kind of thing. A buddy of mine is all about, he's all about online games and Star Trek Voyager. He's got other stuff going on, but those are his two things that, I think put him in the geek category. I do comics and action figures. So, we can agree to go down and see the Iron Man movie, or we can agree to go down and see the Tron movie and enjoy it. But really, we don't judge, because it's too easy for us to turn on each other. Family, I've always collected, and there was never ever a question as to why I collected, or anything kind of like you shouldn't collect that, or don't do that. My family were pretty open about it. Let me go ahead and do what I liked, and I kind of grew out of things on my own, whether because they discontinued the line or I just lost interest in it. So to this day, they're not exactly surprised that I'm still collecting. As long as I don't show up on the doorstep with a bag of laundry and asking what's for dinner, they don't really give me too hard a time about it. So. There you go. Mega Marvel Kid, who's your favorite Marvel character and why? This goes back to the one that was that we had talked about before, as far as who my favorite is by far. By far, my favorite Marvel character is Thanos. Probably because of the fact that, like I said, whenever you see him come up, there's something going down. He comes up, things go down. So it's something where it's very epic story, very otherworldly kind of things going on. Those are the story arcs that I like, and Thanos is always kind of a real good indicator that that's coming up. So Thanos is probably my favorite by far. Who's your favorite NECA figure? Well, I like the aliens. I like all the aliens that NECA's done. They've all impressed me. It's something where the Predators, they're okay. I guess they're all right. But really, when I look at them, I'm kind of iffy on some. Not so with the aliens. Every alien figure that I've seen looks beautiful. great figures. So definitely, aliens are my favorite NECA figures. Now, your second question: what's the square root of 6 and then 7? Let's go ahead and get our iPhone calculator, and we'll see. Square root of 6 is 2.4494897427831778, at least as far as to that decimal point. Your question, what's the square root of 7? That is 2.6457513110645991. So I hope that helped. I hope you haven't been waiting all this time because you have some major experiment going on. The Pixel Gamer, favorite DC Universe Classics Build-A-Figure and why? Well, I haven't finished Darkseid yet, and I haven't done Metallo. So it's going to be kind of hard to say. As it stands now, Giganta is probably my favorite. I think she's a beautiful figure. But when all is said and done, I really think Metallo is probably going to be my favorite. I think Metallo is going to be my favorite. Darkseid, he's looking good, but when held up against Metallo, I have a feeling I'm going to like Metallo best. Roller Coaster Fan 100, do you plan to get NECA Predator figures? Yes, I have them already. Expect to see them on a Double Feature Friday. Who's your favorite Batman villain? As I mentioned, Harley Quinn. My heart goes out to her. She is just a fun character. And have you played Batman Arkham Asylum? Yes, I have. And I am waiting eagerly for the figures from DC Universe to come out for that. That is going to be really, really cool. Blitzwinger, what's your favorite figure in your collection? It's something where it's kind of a toss-up. Right now, I still think the Max from Shocker Toys is my favorite figure. But that Stephanie Brown Batgirl, I still like her. She's the newest one, and that may have something to do with it. But it's a toss-up between the Max and the Batgirl. Johnny Hawk 4, what's your favorite costume? Well, if we're talking movie costumes, Tron. The life lights, the whole kind of black and white style. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was so original. Just like the lightsabers. Lightsabers for the genre, Tron and the light suits, fantastic. I cannot wait to see how things turn out in Tron Legacies. If we're talking about comic costumes, I think Hal Jordan's original suit as Parallax, when he first took the power of Oa in the Guardians, I think Parallax costume is probably one of my favorites there. SD Fan 44, what breed of dog is your favorite? I like German Shepherds, police dogs. Very proud-looking animals, and they're actually very friendly. They're very friendly, very easy to get along with dogs, but they can be fierce, and they can definitely be good protectors. So German Shepherds, definitely my favorite dogs. The SMC-12, what's your favorite movie? Well, that'll vary from time to time. As I was saying with Batman, I love the Michael Keaton Batman, but by virtue of the sequels that came out, I don't really care for it as much as I used to. But one movie that was out, and to this day, it was one of the things where it was like, I just can't believe how hard it was for me to track this movie down. But if you remember the old Nickelodeon, we're talking the old You Can't Do This on Television Nickelodeon, way back when, there was a show hosted by Leonard Nimoy called Lights, Camera, Action. And it was basically a behind-the-scenes movie show. Showed you how to do your own special effects, how to dress a set, showed you behind the scenes on stuff. And one of the movies that they were showing was Rock and Rule. I was blown away. I mean, I was 8, 9 maybe when I saw it. And it was one of the things where it was a completely different kind of cartoon than what I'd seen before. I mean, I'd seen Disney stuff growing up, and this certainly wasn't Disney. And for the longest time, I wanted to see it, but it never made it out. And it never came to a theater, and it was just gone. I checked DVD stores, VHS stores, movie stores. I checked places to try and find it. Never had any luck. And then about 4 years ago, I guess, 3 or 4 years ago, Unearthed Media, or Unearthed Films, I should say, released it out on DVD, a 2-pack on DVD. And I was thrilled. That was a great movie. It was well worth the wait. Very much like Heavy Metal, except, minus the more adult elements. It has Debbie Harry in it, Cheap Trick, Earth, Wind, and Fire. Just some great music, great sound. That one certainly ranks in my top 3 of favorite movies. Maybe the number 1, maybe not, but definitely always in the top 3. Let's see here. And the SMC12 also asks, what's your favorite ancient warrior? Well, ancient warrior, if we're talking like Apollo and Zeus and those kind of ancient warriors, well, again, I like Thor. I think Thor is by far one of my favorites. But it's a good question. I don't know if I could really give you a solid answer as who one of my favorite ancient warriors are. Alexander or something like that. But I think Thor probably takes the cake. We're getting near the end, guys. We've probably got one more video left to do. Yep, we're going to see if we can wrap this up in a 4-parter. So I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off here, and then when we get back, we'll wrap up the questions and answers, and we'll find out who's going to get this Batman and Joker. So I certainly thank you for sticking around. We're almost done.